welcome back to my YouTube channel where I just discuss everything about balloons. Today I am going to be comparing the Belbal crystal versus the Belbal soap. And I will compare actually the same colors so that you guys can know what the differences are with it side by side. I know that the crystals and the soaps are sort of like a big trend that happened in the past years in the balloon world, and everybody's raging about it. But for people out there who haven't really tried it yet, well, at least now you would know in this video. So I'm going to be pumping the purple crystal Belbal 14 inches first. They're actually the same size. Belbal soap and Belbal crystal that I have right now are both 14 inches, and they're both in the same color. With them not inflated, they look, obviously you can tell that this one actually looks black before it becomes inflated, and while the soap has this sort of purple color that will be, of course, become lighter when you inflate it. Same as with the crystal. So now we're going to inflate the Belbal 14-inch crystal first. There you go, and that is the Belbal crystal, overinflated of course because I have the neck bulging right here. That is the color of the Belbal crystal. I usually use Belbals for blow to pops more than I use them for sit to pops, only because of the neck feature of the Belbal brand. It just becomes more pleasant to look at when I use them for blow to pops than sit to pops. You don't really see them that much, or it doesn't really get appreciated that much when I use them for sit to pops. But of course, they're great to sit to pop too. So I'm gonna try and find my one-way valve here. Right, so I have my one-way valve and I'm gonna inflate it again. So I'm not really going to tie it off, but my one-way valve stops the air from getting released from the balloon. So I find them really, really handy when I'm stretching out my balloons so that they can become much bigger when I do blow to pop them, for example. So first, let's just see the Belbal 14-inch crystal now, and now we're going to compare it with the Belbal soap, which is also in purple. So there you go, that's the purple soap balloon. It actually looks very similar to clear Belbal, but there's a hint of just a tinge of purple right in there. I'm gonna try and release the air a little bit and then inflate it again before I close it off with my one-way valve. So there you go. Right now they're both overinflated because you have that neck bulging out, but they're not too overinflated that I'm going to be nervous about them popping with the one-way valves here. So let me just put that down. So here you go. You have the purple crystal and you have the Belbal soap purple side by side. You can tell that they're both still purple, even though this one kind of looks clear, but in person it has a tinge of purple right there. And then you have the crystal, Belbal crystal or Belbal jewel, I think. I think Tough Tex uses the crystal one while Belbal uses jewel tone. And yeah, it's quite appropriate for Belbal if they were using jewel. I'm not really sure right now. They are actually, they actually do look like jewels right now, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I'm gonna set that aside, and then I'm going to blow up the blue version of the Belbal crystal and the Belbal soap, so we can just have a side-by-side analysis or comparison of both of the balloons. So with the Belbal crystals or Belbal jewels, I'm not really sure. This is actually my favorite color. The blue one for crystal is my favorite colored balloons when it comes to the crystal set of the Belbals. Obviously the purple is really, really pretty, but there's just something about this kind of like blue tone to the Belbal crystal that I just really, really love. So I have that right now. I'm going to just give it another one and then put that one-way valve there so that it doesn't release any air, but I'm also not turning it off. And then lastly, I'm going to just blow up this Belbal soap. So there you go. This is the Belbal blue soap. This is the blue color. And again, I like the blue color more than the purple one. Just for the aesthetic. I just find it much, much better looking than the purple soap right now. So I'm just gonna put that in again. And I'm quite confident that even though they are overinflated around me, they're not going to pop. And I really hope I'm right with this one. Okay, so now I'm going to just take a hold of that crystal right there. So the crystals, for me, I like the look more. I love playing with them more than I do with the soaps right here. I just love, like, it looks quite different, and it seems like, I don't know, aesthetically, I guess the soaps just have a little bit more of that vulnerable or fragile feel. But for me, I love the vivid colors of the crystal Belbals that I have right here. And that's just with the visuals. Now onto the latex. I will try and, I'm going to hold on to this Belbal soap right now and see, like, just as a feel of it, it doesn't seem quite far from how thick the latex is with the crystal balloon. I know it doesn't seem that way, but because it is a good make, which is why I like branded balloons more than the standard balloons that I usually play with, that I call Miyu loons because they don't really have a brand. There's not a lot of difference, which is quite surprising. If I squeeze them right here, it just feels the same way. Obviously, the soap will be a bit thinner, but I would say that it's just like very, very small difference. And that's for me. Now I'm gonna try and blow into the Belbal soap, purple, and just give it a couple of breaths. I know it is already quite overinflated, and I'm pretty sure people would get nervous, but it's okay. And it still has a lot of stretch on this neck to go. So I'm just gonna give it a really deep breath. Okay, that balloon is feeling quite tight right now, and I'm gonna try and extend that neck a little bit more. Again, as I said, I'm not really that nervous. I'm not really, even though I do feel a little bit nervous, but at least I'm not that nervous that it's gonna pop, because it is the Belbal. I do find blow to popping Belbals a lot harder than other brands, actually. They're even a lot tougher than the Tuftex, which is quite surprising, because Tuftex is notorious for being tough, hence the name Tuftex. But for blow to pops specifically, Belbals, the Belbal brand, actually is a lot harder to blow to pop. But that's just me. I'm not really sure about other people out there. And right now the Belbal soap is doing quite well, despite being massively overinflated right now. I'm gonna try and tap it, and you can tell, like I'm gonna try and squeeze that a little bit, and you can tell how overinflated that is. I think about 3 more deep breaths, this balloon is gonna go. But I'm going to thrill you guys by just keeping it right here and just taunting everybody with that. And that's how I feel about the soaps. And now I'm going to blow into this crystal, just so that, and then I will tell you the difference between blowing into the soap and blowing into the crystal. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because this crystal is actually a lot tighter than the Belbal soap. And yeah, it's just, there's again no difference that much. However, the Belbal soap does feel like it doesn't have a long way to go when it comes to breaths. So if someone does want to blow to pop, you know, if they wanna choose balloons that are easy to blow to pop, then go for the Belbal soap. But if you want something sturdy, I guess, then you'd go for the crystal. But when it comes to blow to pop, there's not a lot of difference. But the first time I did play with Belbal soaps, I found them quite difficult to blow to pop still, which is again very typical of the Belbal make. So before I put them down on my floor, I'm gonna release a little bit of that air because I don't want them popping on my feet. You know, just a little bit, just a little bit of that. Okay, just so that I don't waste any balloons, right? So, now it's time to feel the latex underneath me. So this one, my one-way valves don't really do well with sit popping. So what I'm going to do is just release a little bit of the air, have it slightly overinflated. I think this could be a bit of like the standard way you will blow this balloon up to have that 14 inches. But I'm going to tie it in a way that it's going to have that neck pop out if I'm on top of it. While the other one, I'm going to do the same thing. So this would be the standard inflation of the Belbal soap. And this is what they look like in their standard inflation size. Which is, I think, pretty nice looking still. So now I've switched from my comfortable sofa to a hard chair, just so that you can see how it fares well when it is sat on. So I'm going to test how sturdy this Belbal is by just slowly putting all my weight into that balloon. So right now, not all of my weight is there. I also tied up the knot where that air is going to escape on that neck as I push down harder. So now I'm going to slowly put in and put up my feet. I'm already on top of the balloon 100%. There's my feet. There you go. And so, yeah, so as you can see, the Belbal soap can handle quite a lot of my weight, which is really, really good. My feet is still up, as you can see, and yeah, it's doing pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to try with the crystal balloon. And when it is inflated in the standard size, it does feel a lot sturdier. But at the same time, underneath me, it feels quite firm. Unlike the Belbal soap, where it felt squishy underneath me, but still a little bit firm. But this one doesn't have a squishy feeling at all, even if it has been inflated just to the standard size, and it's not overinflated as well. So I'm going to try and slowly put my feet up. I'm putting my feet up already, and there you go. And I can tell that the balloon underneath me is getting quite the pressure. I also put the knot over here. I also put the knot in a way where it does escape onto the neck when it feels that pressure. And yeah, it feels really nice. I can move around like this, and it feels quite firm. So if you are into balloons that are firm underneath you, I would recommend the crystal Belbal. But if you want something a lot more squishy and it molds into you, then I would recommend the soap. Okay, so there you have it. That is my review and comparison of the Belbal soap and the Belbal crystal. I hope you liked this video and had a lot more of information about it. If you want to see me pop these balloons on this chair, go to my Discord. There's a big community there with fellow people who love balloons, and you can also see me there and you can chat with me if you want. So the link to my Discord is below, and if you're not there yet, well, what are you waiting for? Okay, so that video will just be exclusive to Discord. So yeah, I hope I see you there. Bye-bye!